talking about your attempts. I'd like to give you feedback about the essay writing. Last time I received some attempts from the majority of you. There are common mistakes. I'd like to highlight these mistakes for all of you in order to avoid them in the future بمشيئة One thing I'd like to highlight is the majority of you, I have done the amendments for them on especially on the introduction, but they didn't change it. They didn't take my comments into consideration. So why? Please read and try to do all the amendments I suggested for you, because these amendments are very useful for you. And you should keep in mind that it takes a lot of time from me. Wallahi, to read an essay like this, it takes at least half an hour. Imagine we have here 23 students, and I like to check or to do track changes for all of you. It takes me more than 15 hours. Imagine one assignment take more than 15 hours because I'm trying to highlight every single mistake for all of you. Why? Because I'd like you to learn from your mistakes. I'd like you to learn from your mistakes. Now let's start with this essay. Now, my grandparents, we had a terrible experience for 14 days as the whole family was infected with COVID-19. Now, I suggested another sentence for the writer. Being infected by COVID-19 was a terrible experience for my family. Yeah, this sentence is more economic and it's more effective. We suffered a lot because of the symptoms, especially my grandfather and my grandmother, as here the author put a full stop, a comma. I add here a connection, as COVID-19 is dangerous to all people. COVID-19, she said, COVID. It's called COVID-19. You have to be consistent. COVID-19, right? Changed everything in our lives. Has changed because you are telling us new information, right? You are telling us new information about your experience with COVID-19, so you have to use present perfect. Present perfect, right? Okay? Are you following me, please? Are you following me?
Yes, doctor.
Please, I don't like you to write in the chat box yes, and at the end of the day, I have the same mistakes. Nobody takes care of the comments that I've highlighted during the lectures. I'm here to teach you guys. Wallahi, I'm doing my best in order to facilitate the process of writing for you. You should take care of all these comments, because this is not only for the writer of this essay, it's for all of you, because all of you have the same problems. And I'll show you some samples now. I talked about a lot of let's say mistakes, and I was surprised that in this assignment exactly, and the majority of students have the same problem. I have only one explanation for that, and those people were asleep during the lecture, or they didn't attend the lecture. I'm sorry to say that, but this is the truth. When I'm talking about the same thing 10 times, and at the end of the day, nobody take care of it, that means, nobody is following me. I'm sorry to say that, but we are here to learn. We are here to work hard. If you'd like to, I don't like to cheat you guys. I can give you all of you 10, 10, 10. Okay, take A. Okay, you will take A in this course, and after, one semester or two semesters, or after graduation, wallahi, you will never say that, Wallah, Ahmad Al-Harahsheh was so generous with us. No, you will make dua against me, Wallah, I'm quite sure. You will say that he didn't teach us anything. He was laughing with us. Just he gave us A's, and at the end of the day, we learn nothing. So please follow up, and take care of all the comments I highlighted in the class, please. Now, unfortunately, COVID-19 pandemic has led to dramatic loss of human life, to public health systems, public health food. How's that? Public health food systems. I can't understand. What do you mean by that? Public health food systems. I suggest food production, effects on dramatic effects. This is a noun, and affect is a verb. Affect is a verb, and effect is a noun. On human life, food production, the world of work, not the world of work, business in general. All right, so this is a thesis statement. You must start with the hawk, then you have to have connecting information, then you have connecting information, 2 to 3 sentences. If you remember last time, we said that the role of connecting information is to introduce the topic to your readers. To introduce the topic to your readers, right? Now, this should be the first paragraph. This should be the first paragraph. Each paragraph must start with a topic sentence. You have to keep this in mind. You studied this in writing one, how to write a paragraph. And in the first week of this course, I explained to you what is the topic sentence, how to write the topic sentence, and how to write the supporting details. We have major supporting details, and we have minor supporting details, and so on. And we talked about the types of supporting details. We said that supporting details could be examples, could be statistics, could be facts, right? Could be quotations. You quote someone who is specialist in this field in order to support your argument. So here we don't have this kind of various is not easy. So what? Where's the topic sentence? COVID-19 is a fatal disease here because you changed the thesis statement. We said that it has bad effects or dramatic effects on human life. That means it is a fatal disease. Now, you should explain how. As I said, please, I state that several times in the classroom. Don't use this style in writing. Don't say, as I said, because the reader, as a reader, I'll say, who are you? Right? Who are you? As I said, are you a specialist? Here, you can't convince me, this is a kind of show. This is a kind of exaggeration in writing. And this is unacceptable in academic writing. This is unacceptable. Don't say, as I said, because as a reader, I will have an idea, who are you? You are so proud of yourself. And at the end of the day, this is not the style of academic writing. The style of academic writing, you have to be objective, logical, reasonable, right? Your aim is to convince your readers. Your aim is to convince your readers. You are writing for readers. You are not writing for yourself. As I said, this is a narrative style, right? But this is not an academic style. COVID-19 is so dangerous to all people because all people Look here, all people, because all people. You use the noun here, use the pronoun. No need to repeat the same noun. All people, they, because they have no strong immunity. Right. As it affects their lungs. يعني this sentence is long. Try to split your sentences. Don't have run-on sentences. What do you mean by run-on sentences? Run-on sentences, that means you have 2-3 sentences together without punctuation marks. At the end of the day, you will have run-on sentences. I can't, as a reader, I can't understand, or I can't know, I don't know, where do you start and where do you end? So split it. So this is a new sentence. Their lungs and causes, right? Not here, lungs complications such as pneumonia causes pneumonia. There are other symptoms. Here you are talking about symptoms. However, when I do remember this introduction, I told the author of this introduction to rewrite her thesis and not to talk about symptoms, because these are facts and you are not going to convince me, wallahi, about facts, because this is a fact. This is a fact. You cannot convince me about the facts. These are the symptoms of COVID-19. يعني, as a reader, I will say that, who are you يعني, to invent or to convince me, wallahi, about these symptoms? These symptoms are known for all of us. All the people around the world now know the symptoms of COVID-19. Give me one who doesn't know. All the people know that. That means this is not a topic sentence. This is not a thesis statement, because you are going to prove a truth. It is a truth. Don't say that, wallahi, the earth goes around the sun. طبعا, all of us know that. All of us know that. It's a fact. The same as here. Look here, again, there are other symptoms which I will be writing about too. Don't use these phrases, please. Don't use your first person singular pronoun. This will weaken your writing. This weakens your writing, right? يضعف من القراءة. My grandparents suffered so much while they had the coronavirus. Now here, you used COVID-19, and here you used coronavirus. There is a difference between them? Yeah, and here you make a kind of distraction for your readers. No lie, sometimes you talk about COVID-19, sometimes you talk about coronavirus. Is there a difference? We know that there is no difference. But you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent. You use coronavirus, I'll have to use coronavirus. And they say, if you use COVID-19, you have to use COVID-19. All right? Have you got the point? Have you got the point? And because their condition was in danger, we had to take them to the hospital. Taking them to the hospital was the best decision ever, because there are doctors will take good care of them. Now, you are talking about the effects of COVID-19 on all people. So don't use the narrative style. Please provide evidence how COVID-19 is dangerous for all people. There is no need for this kind of information. Do you think this information will convince your readers? No, wallahi, it is dangerous for all people? No. You take them to the hospital, so what? It's known that, and wallahi, when someone is affected with COVID-19 and his case is serious, or critical, we will send him to the hospital. Yeah. So what? There is no need for this details. Again, when you write your paragraph, first of all, you should write your topic sentence. Number one. Number two, select at least two major details. At least two major details. Two major details in one paragraph. I'm talking about a paragraph. Topic sentence. Then at least two major details. And under each major detail, you have to have at least two minor details. Topic sentence, major detail number one, A, minor detail, B, minor detail. Now, major detail number two, A, minor detail, B, minor detail. Have you got the idea? Have you got the idea, guys? Have you got the idea?
Doctor,
Do you
can
hear
you
me?
please?
Sorry, ya Sarah. Say again. Say again, ya Sarah. Now, ya Sarah. Give me a second. You see the white blank board here? Now, we have the paragraph. This is a paragraph. Now, under the paragraph, in the paragraph, you have to have a topic sentence. You have to have a topic sentence. Now, this is the topic sentence, right? One major, you have to have at least two major details. At least. Major detail. Under the major detail, you have to have at least two minor details. Minor detail here. Major detail again here. Minor detail, at least two major details. You may have three, you may have four, depends on the length of your paragraph. Minor detail and be here. Minor detail. Yes. All right. So this is a paragraph. This is the structure of the paragraph. This is the structure of the paragraph. You have a topic sentence. Under the topic sentence or in the paragraph, you have to have at least two major details. At least two major details. Now, under each major detail, you have to have at least two minor details. Major detail number one, minor detail one, minor detail two, major detail number two, minor detail one, minor detail two. All right, have you understood the structure of the paragraph? Please, are you following me?
Yes, doctor, thank you.
Nurhan, are you following us, ya Nurhan? Maryam al-Naqvi, Fatma Umar, Fahad,
Yes, doctor.
Ayatullah, Ayatullah, Fahad, Abdul Aziz, Ahmad, Sarah,
Yes, doctor.
yeah, Ashraf. I'm sorry to call your names, but I'd like to make sure that yani, you are following me, please. Yani I'm working here. يعني in order you say Fahad. Yeah. طيب. اوكي يا فهد. يعطيك العافية. طيب. Let's go back. Yeah, let's go back to the essay. Please follow. يعني you should focus on the mistakes that have been made by one of our colleagues. In order يعني to learn from these mistakes. Look at second paragraph here. Talking about symptoms, I will start with, do you remember last time when we talked about these statements? We said that if you start with this expression, I will start, I will talk, this essay will, this paragraph will, we call them what? Announcements. Announcements, right? And we said that they are not thesis statement, they are not effective thesis statement, you have to rewrite them. So please don't use this style. Don't use these expressions because this is a topic sentence. يعني as a reader, when I read this sentence, I will have an idea that, and wallahi, this is the topic sentence, right? Right? So when I read, well, I will start with the dangers. Don't say that I will start. Go directly to the point. Go directly to the point, right? We know that you are going to talk about this. This is يعني known for us. So this is why you are writing an essay, right? So don't tell us, well, I will start. No, you have already started writing your essay. With the dangers symptoms or dangerous symptoms. What do you think? This is an adjective, right? This is a noun. So we need what? Adjective. To all people. In this paragraph, you talked about the dangers of the danger of COVID-19 on all people. So what's the difference between this paragraph and this paragraph? For me as a reader, I can see no difference. They are the same. They must be combined in one paragraph, and you should rewrite them again in order to have only one paragraph. Because here you are talking about the symptoms. And again, don't talk about the symptoms here because these are facts. These are facts. Avoid talking about facts because you will not bring something new to the reader. As a reader of your essay, I'm looking for your essay and I expect that and you are going to tell me something new, something that I don't know. But imagine, wallah, you are talking about facts. Again, I will say, so what? So what? Expect this, while you are writing, especially details and so on, go and read, do revision. And you should anticipate. You should read your reader's mind. They may ask, wallahi, so what? So I have to change this detail because it seems like يعني this sentence يعني it seems unreasonable, or يعني it may cause a kind of confusion for my readers or whatsoever. So think of what you are writing. Here, the lungs become filled with fluid and inflamed, leading to breathing difficulties for some old people. Breathing, not only are old people, but all those who do not have, whose immunity system is not, let's say, strong enough, they may have these symptoms or problems. Breathing problems can become, severe enough to require treatment, etc. At the hospital with oxygen, or even uh, if you look at this information here, يعني this information should not be here. If you insist to include this information, this should be moved to the previous paragraph here. يعني these two paragraphs must be combined in one paragraph. You may, and again, you should summarize this. You should summarize this, because يعني you are providing too much details, which is somehow needless or unwanted for the readers, because I don't like يعني to have too much details. Especially I'm talking about this paragraph. يعني COVID-19 causes tend to take hold in both lungs, filled with fluid, limiting, etc. Here we have repetition, by the way. Look here. The lungs become filled with fluid and inflamed. Again, you have repetition here. So this sentence for me, this sentence here is enough, leading to breathing difficulties. And if I were you, I will delete this. My grandparents, here this paragraph must be about dramatic effects of COVID-19 on business sectors. Again, here you repeat yourself. My grandparents had other symptoms, which is blah, blah, blood clot, severe headache, acute kidney injury. Let us again, please avoid, avoid these expressions. Let us start with, avoid them. Runny nose, is your palate, spilling, severe headache. Some patients, the severe here, capitalization, take care of capitalization. It lasts for a few months, and if you were confused, here we have blood clots. Blood clots can, again, يعني I can see that this information must be included here, right? So this information is unrelated. However, writing about symptoms is important, so your reader can know about every diseases. Every diseases, well, every disease, or all diseases. Writing about the symptoms is important, so your readers can know about. So what? No, this is not a successful conclusion. If you remember, we said that, oh, this is a paragraph. This is a paragraph again. However, writing about the symptoms is important, so your reader can know more. Where is the topic sentence? Is this a topic sentence? No. This is not a topic sentence. Again, this is not a topic sentence. I have wrote and focused the most. Look here. Again, we have also grammatical mistakes here. I have wrote or written. I have written, right? And focused on the most about my, the most what? Incomplete, huh? Incomplete sentence. About my parents because they mean the world because they mean the world to me. Wallahi, this is an Arabic English, to be honest with you. They mean everything to me. I want it again, 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 again. Avoid this style. Don't talk about your feeling here. Avoid this style because يعني here you are talking about feelings, right? Avoid talking about feelings. Your aim is to convince me in a reasonable and a logical way. So avoid talking about feelings. As a reader, I will say, so what? So what is the information that you'd like to tell me? What is the information that you would like to tell me? I wanted to share what happened to them. So what? In addition, writing about all this may help the readers in the future if something happened to their family. يعني, it seems like a conclusion. It seems like a conclusion, right? But it is not a conclusion. And it adds nothing to the essay. So you should not show يعني, your sympathy in writing. You have to be objective, realistic, right? In conclusion here, in conclusion, COVID-19 really did change our lives, but it also taught us good slash bad. Good and, don't يعني use slash. Good and bad lessons, Sheikh, that we won't regret it. What are these lessons يعني? That we will not forget it, you mean? Yeah, I think you mean that we won't and forget them. Or if you are talking about بما انه good and bad lessons, forget here, forget them. But the best thing now is that my grandparents are in good health and they are safe. Staying safe is, again, this is a run-on sentence. You have to use what? Full stop, because this is a new sentence, a new idea. It's the most important because getting COVID-19 is really not fun. However, do you think that COVID-19 will end? Again, يعني, it must be rewritten. And again, you should avoid talking about يعني, your feelings here. Yeah, this is one essay. I'll show you another one. Show you another attempt. And again, we are doing practice in order to have a look at the problems that students have. Now, sports. This is another say. If you can't outplay them, outwork them, yeah, good. It is a good start because this is a hook, huh? Ben Hogan once said, as an aspiration, sports has to be essential to people, right? Instead of everyone, to people. Whether this means يعني climate, you are talking about climate here. I think you mean whether this one, whether they are young, right? Whether they are young or strong, since everybody needs it. Even if they think they don't, They will definitely need it in the future. Even if they think they don't, they will definitely need it in the future. It has many perks to your mental and physical health. Again, when you wrote this introduction, I told you that, you know, you are talking about two ideas here. These are two ideas. You can combine them together, by the way. This is number one. Number two, here you have two ideas only, so this is why you have two paragraphs. And if you remember, we said that you must you must write a paragraph, three-body paragraph. Three-body paragraph. You have to have a 5-essay paragraph. Introduction, 3 paragraphs, body paragraph, and one conclusion, and a conclusion, sorry. Conclusion, introduction, 3-body paragraph, right? So here you wrote only 2 body paragraphs, and this is unacceptable. All right. To begin with doing sports, so you have to rewrite your thesis statement here again to add another point. And you should have another paragraph. To begin with, doing sports is actually misunderstood. You don't have to go to the gym every day. Yeah. Now, you don't have to go. Here, this is a new sentence. This is what I mean by run-on sentences. Run-on sentences, here, doing sports is actually misunderstood. You don't have to go. Here, you have to have what? You have to have punctuation. You have to have a full stop here, right? In order to separate this sentence, because this is a new sentence. So this is what do you mean by run-on sentences. You don't have to go to the gym every day for an hour to practice for the exact purpose of perfecting the sport you are doing. So what? يعني, I can't understand this. You need or you don't have to go. You have to go, right? Doing sport is actually misunderstood. طيب. It can be any type of physical activities, and it shouldn't be complicated. Yeah, for example, here you have to add, in order to make sure that your reader you will have smooth in writing. For example, you don't have, because you mentioned, this is a good topic sentence, by the way. This is a good topic sentence. Now, I'd like to give an example. For example, you don't have. Now, I, as a reader, I can understand in all this is an example. You don't have to go to the gym every day for an hour to practice for the exact purpose of perfecting the sport. You are, again, this is wordy. Wordy. What do you mean by wordy? You have more words than required. More words than required. So you have to rewrite it to have, let's say, less words. There is no need to go. You don't need to go to the gym every day for an hour to practice sport or for exercise only. An hour how to practice sport. That's it. To practice sport. Right? It can be any type. Look here. This is what do we call it? Wordy. I'm going to talk about this, inshallah. Wordy, that means you use more words than needed. More words than needed. And this is an example of wordy. We call it wordy. This is wordy. They call it weirdly. It can be any type of physical activities and it should not be complicated and hard. For example, jogging for 20 minutes is enough. Of a sport is enough. Is enough. When you practice it twice a week, is enough when you practice it twice a week in the morning or even walking or comma here or walking or even walking in a slow pace but with a good amount of distance. In addition, sports or sport, huh? Because you have is here. Sport is a great way to maintain and balance your health, not just physically, but mentally, because here you have what? You have an adverb, right? Right. Again, researchers show here, plural, researchers show that your participation in a kind of sport pumps your endorphins, the happy hormones, which can reduce your stress and any kind of mental issues you are going through. Good example. Furthermore, it is the perfect source for your immune system strength. Good. Which can help you fight a lot of potential diseases. Mhm. Along with the risk of along along with the risk of you getting along of the risk you this is ungrammatical sentence here, along with the risk you getting infected by some sort of disease could go really low. You should rewrite this sentence. Unclear. Here you have grammatical issues and it makes it unclear. Rewrite it. You can say that, and it prevents your body from getting or from being infected by diseases. How it immunes your body from diseases. It immunes your body from diseases. That is the particular reason to start doing sports, or that is the particular reason. This sentence يعني, must be rewritten. This is the particular reason. What do you mean by the particular reason? Here you are talking about reasons rather than reason. Again, rewrite. Rewrite. To sum up everything that has been stated so far, please don't use this style. Taking a part in doing. No, practicing sport. Look, now your sentence will be smoother here or more readable. Practicing sports will most likely improve your physical health and heal it if it is damaged. No need for that, because here, this is a kind of repetition, by the way. Then as will help you, will, you mean here? You mean will, right? I think you mean will, rather than help you with your mental health condition. Again, you should rewrite this sentence. It's unclear. What do you mean by mental health condition? It's unclear for the reader. Personally thinking, don't use this style. Avoid this style. Sports has to be a daily activity for everyone since it has so many perks to your well-being. Yeah. Again, your conclusion must be rewritten in order to be more more effective, right? Let's have another attempt. uh, yeah, this is another attempt. Ayatollah. Did anyone wonder why a lot of children are so aggressive? Here you use simple past, however, and simple present in the same question. This is unacceptable, right? You have to be consistent, tense consistent, we call it. Does anyone wonder why a lot of children are so aggressive? Simple present, simple present. Now your sentence is more acceptable. So aggressive and rude these days. Ever since, no need for that. Some parents have resorted, don't use the simple past because you should use simple present here. Why? Because you are telling us new information. Simple present or simple or present perfect. You are not right, or you are not using narrative essay. In narrative essay, when you write a narrative essay, you use past tense. It's acceptable. But here, you are writing an argumentative essay that you are going to convince us about your point of view. So you should use simple present or present perfect. Simple present or present perfect, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, some parents have resorted to put their children in front of the television to have some peace and quiet. Here we need a connection in order to have cohesion. So a lot of children, this is the result, right? So a lot of children have started to behave in an aggressive and rude way. That is all because televisions have a lot of channels and channels have a lot of shows. Yeah, so what, Aya, I'd like you to rewrite this sentence again. You can say, because some TV channels are broadcasting aggressive shows. Aggressive shows. Some. Be careful, huh? Some. Yeah. So here you are saying that in or inappropriate shows instead of aggressive because some televisions or because some TV stations are broadcasting inappropriate programs for children. Inappropriate programs for children. When children take the remote in their hands, here you have there, child, this is singular, right? So you have to be consistent. When children take the remote in their hands, if you use child, his or her. But children, their hands, you are talking generally. Here we are not talking about a child, we are talking about children in general, males and females. There are, again, avoid the word many, because many, that means there are a lot of reasons, and in one essay you can't cover that. You can't talk about these reasons in one essay. So instead of many, use the word some, several, different, right? And it will be less, more acceptable for your readers. Why television is bad for children? Not some of them, such as, instead of some of, have inappropriate words, such as lack of physical activity, exposure to bad things, and consumerism. Yeah, excellent. By the way, it's a good introduction, yeah, Aya. It's a good introduction. Firstly, instead of first of all, acceptable. Yani. Television can cause a lack of physical activity. Excellent. This is a good topic sentence. This is a good topic sentence. Now, children need to be active in order to maintain their health, and a lack of activity can lead them or may cause obesity. All right? May cause obesity. Again, we use may. يعني in order to be in the safe side and to avoid generalization. يعني imagine if you say that a lack of physical activity cause obesity. Some people may argue, no, wallahi not all the time. So we say as a writer, in order to be in the safe side, يعني in order to avoid blaming, and you can say may or can, yes. Also, it can cause laziness. That's to say, again, that's to say it is a connection words that in other words, that's to say, in other words, when children are constantly watching television, sometimes costly of their parents wanting to have their own free time, they will hardly get up to do other activities. Why Why go play outside? Why do? This is a question, right? Why do they play outside when they can enjoy watching a couple of shows while sitting? This is a question, yeah, so it must be like this. And all, don't يعني start a sentence with and, right? You have also, you have in addition, you have besides, you have moreover, you have furthermore, etc. Therefore, they will have physical problems such as vision, back, brain problems. Instead of that lead to the final point, you have physical problems such as vision, back, and brain problems. Here we call it wordy. Again, this is wordy. Wordy that you use more words than required. You use more words than required. A lot of children these days have to wear glasses, suffer from back pain that is supposed to come later in life due to age, and even their brain will start to think less and become lazy itself. Secondly, television can cause an exposure to bad things. When children watch a lot of action or horror shows, movies, excellent. They will start to become desensitized. They will no longer be faced with the violence that unfortunately spreads throughout the world every second of every day. It can also familiarize the children or the child with bad behavior. A child can find cursing, bullying, certain behaviors, and other things, certain adult behaviors and other things that are not morally good to be normal behaviors. Moreover, it can cause aggression. For example, when here this is a repetition because you already talked about this here. No need for this, right? Avoid repetition, please. Avoid repetition. Thirdly, television can cause consumerism. Children don't usually know what is good or bad for them. Here again, weirdly, what is good for them and what is not, no, what is bad, what is good or bad for them. So they will want to buy anything they see on television, whether it is actually good and beneficial for them or useless, unhealthy, or unhealthy, useless. Again, don't use slash. Useless or unhealthy for them. That's enough. They can, okay. Here you have, um, we know that advertisement can, unfortunately, look, avoid this. We know. Unfortunately, you start like this. Unfortunately, okay, unfortunately, advertisements as adults, unfortunately, advertisements are or can be misleading and deceiving most of the time, but children don't know that, don't recognize that. Instead of know, recognize the verb here, lexical choice. All they know is that as long as the advertisements looks to be to their liking, they have to get it. Lastly, children can become, yeah, more stubborner, and arrogant. They can keep insisting, etc. The conclusion is good. Television can be something that we must be at least a little bit worried about when letting our children watch it. It can cause a lack of physical activity, etc. Exposure to bad things and consumerism. Children are put in the trust of adults to raise them in a good way. Why let a machine run everything? Good. Yeah, good. This is a good essay. Let's take another essay to say to look at other problems that some of our colleagues had. This is by Noor. Okay. Yeah. With the recent circumstances all around the world, because, and I remember, I checked this introduction before, and the writer or the author still have the same problem. Okay. Now, because COVID-19 virus, we don't call it COVID-19 virus. Because COVID-19, it's called COVID-19, right? It is COVID-19. Yeah. Distance learning is the preferable way for all the schools and parents or the students. The students. So the children, or the students, can resume their education under safe and healthy conditions. This is a topic, this is a thesis statement, by the way. And the way to keep all the students connected with their teachers so the teacher can spread the knowledge they have for the students and the students to get the information they need. Again, this is ungrammatical. Here, where is the hawk? This sentence must be deleted here. Where is the hawk? We don't have a hawk sentence. Even the connecting information are misleading. Again, this is a fragment. This is not a complete sentence. The way to keep all the students connected with their teachers. So, and this is not a sentence. It doesn't have a complete thought. It is not a complete sentence. Again, so the teacher can help, can spread the knowledge they have. Again, this is a fragment. I gave you feedback on this paragraph, but you don't do the changes I suggested. Here, are you talking about advantages or the disadvantages of e-learning? Now, we read your, Noor, we read your paragraph, your introductory paragraph, but till now, we don't know what are you going to write. Are you going to write about the advantages or the disadvantages of e-learning or distance learning or online learning, right? So you have, and we call it online education, because distance learning, يعني it exists before online learning, by the way. Okay, it is online, but يعني it is a different concept. It's a different concept. We call it online education, online education, all right? Now, no distance learning هذه for those who would like to have diplomas or even PhDs or master degrees. They can do that online before COVID-19. They call it distance learning. So yeah, you have to rewrite your paragraph, introductory paragraph here. Distance learning is the education of students who cannot be physically present at school. It's the education, is a way of education. And again, online education, please. Online education is a way of education where students can afford students, sorry, for students who cannot cannot attend classes physically. Look, where today it involves online education. What's the difference between يعني online education and distance learning? There is a difference,
It's
by
the
the way.
same. It's the same.
There is a difference in all, right? If you go to if you Google it, you will find that online distance learning exists before this crisis, before COVID-19. If you'd like to have a diploma from the UK or from the United States or from Australia, you can do that by distance learning. And by the way, before COVID-19, this kind of learning wasn't acceptable in the Arab world. Now, COVID-19 has some advantages. Now you can have, I think Fahad or Abdulaziz wrote that you can attend a course or you can have a certificate from Harvard without attending. Yeah, this is distance learning. This is distance learning. Before COVID-19, it wasn't acceptable in the Arab world. They didn't accept degrees, especially MAs and PhDs. And they call it, well, this is distance learning. You didn't attend physically. That means, Allah, you may have some help and so on. So it wasn't acceptable. But now, because of COVID-19, now it is acceptable. It's acceptable because why? Because all education in the world had been turned to online education. Okay, have you got the idea, Noor? Please. Yani when you write, I'm not just talking to Noor. I'm talking to all of you. When you introduce a new concept, you should understand what you are talking about. You should understand what is the difference between these concepts, because you are responsible at the end of the day. You are the writer, right? Right. Quickly through this thing. Again, here it involves online education due to keep, without due, to keep the students and their families and teachers safe. Again, this is a repetition to maintain safety rules around the world. There is no relation between this sentence and this sentence. You should rewrite them in order to combine them together in a logical way. And to reduce the spread of the virus. Where is your topic sentence, by the way, here? Where are your supporting details? You don't have supporting details. You don't have even a topic sentence. However, distance learning signed as the most successful way to keep all around the world connect to each other. And this is ungrammatical sentence. a way to connect people around the world. Hi, and this is a good topic sentence. Using the platforms, different platforms such as Zoom and Microsoft, right? Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Office ولا Teams؟ Teams مش هيك؟ To connect the students with their teachers. Again, you should delete. Moreover, distance learning has some negative mental and physical effects. Effects, not affects. This is a verb. This is a verb. When it starts with A, this is a verb. When it starts with E, this is a noun. On the student, parents, teachers, as they face many difficulties during this journey, these negativists differ from whether, again, this is wrong. It is mentally or physically. Again, this is wrong. It is here, not it's. It is. You have to add contraction here. For example, the students are spending a lot of time, spending all the time on their laptops and tablets nowadays. Therefore, this will cause them. Here, use connected transition words. Please go back to the transition words and use them. Health problems such as, again here, it's successful way to keep the students connected to the school and with their teachers. It is not possible. Yani, I'm lost. What you are talking about? Where is your topic sentence? Here you have an example of wordy. Too much words to say something. Yani, to compare with the physical present of the students in the class and in front of traditional teaching. Yani, instead of all these, يعني instead of the whole sentence, I use traditional teaching. خلاص. And some teachers find difficulty to transfer the information virtually, so some students, blah, blah, blah. On the other hand, not in the other hand, on the other hand. Here, what are they? Disadvantages, what are they? And the advantages, what are they? Okay? To sum up all what I have mentioned, don't use this. Again, your conclusion is unclear, incoherent. Don't use first person singular pronoun in writing. Whether spelling here, you have some problems here. All right, that's all for today.